fucking beer.
Slam it, dude.
There's water in the fucking tube.
I was watching UFC before I got on because I have ESPN Plus now.
You asked a question to, I don't know if it was a viewer or me last week, who's your favorite UFC fighter?
I was asking the guy that commented that I saw.
Who's your favorite UFC fighter?
Right now or ever?
Ever. I don't care about right now. It's never about right now.
Ever? Quentin Rampage Jackson, probably, because the dude was just a bad motherfucker. But there's so many good ones.
Was it Rashad Evans and Rampage Jackson, that big fucking feud?
It's so hard to pick. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Rashad Evans. Same with Chuck Liddell with Rampage.
Liddell was cool.
Dude, they were all cool. I love Brock Lesnar.
Who was the other guy? The Couture? It wasn't Couture. Who was the old
Randy Couture was the old guy. Yeah, he was an old guy.
It was Couture?
Yeah. But he went to heavyweight too. Go. Slam it. Yeah.
So, who was it? I gotta fucking remember his name. My favorite UFC fighter of all time. I know his name. I just gotta remember the famous fight. It was the most sluggish, most beat down, stand up, fucking pound for pound, fucking fist swinging fight ever. And it was back in, I think it was a prelim, UFC maybe 20 or early 10. It was Stephan Bonner and Forest Griffin.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Is that his name, Forest Griffin?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Stephan Bonner is the fucking man. Forest. Yeah, Forest Griffin. Dude, I don't know if you ever saw that fight, but
yes, it was a bloodbath, right? It was the bloodbath.
Bloodbath.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm getting chills right now. I don't know if you could see it. Look, my fucking hair's standing up talking about this.
Yeah, it was a great fight. That was a great fight.
I was 13. Me and my business partner right now, Mark, and his little brothers were watching it in his living room. Uh-huh. We were watching this fight. We're his parents are in the fucking their room, probably fucking or whatever. I was spending the night at his house. They probably didn't know what we were watching, but they really didn't care. They let us watch wrestling and shit. My mom never did. But, because me and my brother would fuck each other up and break each other's necks.
Yeah, you had two brothers. Yeah, with brothers. Fucking no, you're not watching that shit.
This fucking match.
They just beat the fuck out of each other.
And then, dude, they beat the shit out of each other. Dude, we're little kids oh yeah. Dude, there's blood coming. They're swinging. Fucking Joe Rogan and fucking
Joe Rogan's best.
Goldberg or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Goldberg and Mike Goldberg.
Goldberg.
They were so great.
They're not even on the floor right now. They got their hands up in. They are just swinging away. This is the greatest I've ever seen. Oh, and then you got Mike Goldberg. He's swinging. Oh, with the right hook. Oh, that right hook's going to hurt, Mike. Yes, it is. Oh, Forrest Griffin's coming back. Dude, it was fucking insane. And we're just little kids, taking it in, mouth breathing, standing up, watching this fucking fight. And after the fight, dude, after it was over, oh my God, we didn't care who won. No, I don't think anyone gave a fuck who won. Everyone was mad props to you guys. Who gives a fuck who wins?
Oh, yeah.
You both were fucking. Dude, I can't imagine the brain damage from that fight.
So, the one I was watching, I started. I didn't finish it. I only watched, the first round, and then you said we're starting. So, I jumped up. Usman versus Covington. It just happened recently, 6 months ago or something, or maybe a year ago. Dude, one of the best fights I've ever seen. And there was a big backstory. Covington is this Trump guy. He's a Trump troll. He went to the White House with the interim title, and he's always wearing
Does he do it to piss people off?
Oh yeah. He's even talked about on Joe Rogan that it's a shtick. It's he does it because I think he likes the Trumps. He
does what Trump does. He fucks with the media and shit.
He's a showman. He's a showman. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
And but he talks mad shit, and he talks to this dude, and this dude Usman won the title, and so Colby got to fight him. And I didn't really know much about him. I
haven't watched UFC in 2 years.
See, I'm huge in there. Now I got it again. I love it. And Covington was calling him Marty Newsman because I guess then his name was Marty at the college they wrestled at or something. So there's a lot of bad blood. And dude, they're both wrestlers. But they just stood and threw for 5 rounds, just nonstop.
Damn,
I think it was the most punches thrown in a fight, and then Usman beat him in the 5th round. And at the very end, and at the end of it, at the end of it, and Usman didn't have to do this because Covington wouldn't have done it for Usman. Usman, the first thing he said was he gave respect to Covington because they threw down like just bombs for 5 rounds until Usman knocked him. Like Usman, the first round and halfway through the second when you hit me up, Usman was rocked like 3 or 4 times already.
I gotta watch that fight.
They stay this close, like the whole time.
Where did you watch it? Was it MMA Share or?
Oh, I have ESPN Plus now because I just said fuck it. I just was like, whatever.
Oh, so you get like, and you can backlog streams or like
one all the way back to UFC 1, and I think they even have like Muay Thai and shit. Joe Rogan talks.
The guy from Fox and Friends.
Except fuck it.
Is it Greg Gutfield? No, it's
yeah.
not Greg. No, it's not Greg. Michael. Brian Kilmeade.
Okay.
The guy on Fox and Friends. He kind of has like a. He looks
I stopped watching cable news. They're all fucking in it for the money. I don't watch cable.
All right. Well, Fox and Friends is kind of interesting. They have a lot of interesting people in there.
No, there's podcasters for free that don't.
I understand that. I'm just saying
cable,
there's like people
news,
from like shit, that came across, say for Brian Kilmeade, the guy from Fox and Friends. That guy, he was the first. He was the first announcer on UFC. So the story is, like, he was like struggling, like to do like acting and a bunch of other stuff, and his agent hit him up, kind of like Joe Rogan's story. It's so funny how the UFC has these like people that they hit up like early on. They're like, Brian Kilmeade, would you like to announce? It's what's called the Ultimate Fighting Championship. All right, it's going to be a pay-per-view event, and there's no rules. And it's all the greatest fighters in the world in their respected classes of martial arts or fighting styles, and they're all going to come together in a bracket and fight against each other. No rules, no hold back. He was like, "Sounds insane. Where do I sign?" And then, like, what would you say, dude? The first UFC, like, you had no weight classes.
Yeah.
You had no standards. You had a guy in the ring just making sure you don't, like, if the other dude's not breathing, they're like, yo, he's dead. Kind of like the guy from
yeah, I need to watch that one. I've never watched that.
Kind of like the guy from Friday where he goes up to him like, you got knocked the fuck out. That guy. Whoever that's pretty much who they had in the ring in the first, like, UFC. And
I gotta watch that. I saw it on there.
Royce Gracie was,
dude. Listen,
just monster in the first.
Get just get it. Get ESPN Plus. I never did, and I finally did. It's worth it. The 30 for 30s on it. The show, dude. The 30 for 30s. I watched the Rodman 30 for 30. Amazing. I watched the Miami U. Amazing. Like, all the 30 for 30s are just the best documentaries about sports.
Do they have the documentary about that one guy, that one boxer?
I'm sure. Should they have everything?
That guy
they're coming out with the Lance Armstrong one. I was hearing about it today. They're doing a 30 for 30 Lance Armstrong about the doping and shit. And there's a lot of hype about that one. But I don't know. Bicycling. We'll see. They need to do a 30 for 30 on Michael Phelps if they have. Smoking bongs, bro.
All right. Let's go down.
That he got for that.
Let's go down the rabbit hole here. All right. All right. It's rabbit hole time, folks. It's where we go, where we talk about a topic, or either me or Ski interrupt and like, all right, I have like an idea that I want to pitch off you, and let's just dive down this rabbit hole. Hypotheticals always. How do you feel about like different leagues? Like, you have like the NFL, and then you have another NFL where it's just a bunch of dudes taking steroids. How do you feel about that?
No, so this is my thing.
Tell me that would not be like better.
Listen, I understand that, but I think that, like, the reason why it wouldn't work is because of, like, people would be like, it's just, but here's my thing.
Hell no.
Listen, all right, listen. No, I know it'd be dope, but listen, what is realistic, I think can happen is the MLB should have one designated doper on their team. He can be from any position. And you get to one person on the team.
Rules.
Just one, like Barry Bonds, when you had that just fucking animal. And if you walk a designated doper, they get a 2-base walk. So there's like you got to pitch to these.
I'm not about the rules, bro. I'm not. That's
just these fucking dudes. Just
that's the whole point of me going down this rabbit hole here on this conversation. The whole point is.
Yes, it would be dope. Just letting if it wouldn't be like. illegal and super dangerous to
like
the
Barry
killing them.
Bonds, Mark McGuire, all these motherfuckers on the same team
Yeah, it'd be
against
great.
other motherfuckers.
Yeah, it'd be like NFL Street. It'd be great. It'd be like NBA Street.
Boom!
No, I'm not saying it wouldn't, but I'm just saying it'd be like super deadly.
Let's do this.
Dangerous.
Let's go down. Let's even go to
like,
deeper.
dude, if a bunch
Let's
of
go
dudes in
deeper.
the NFL took,
You're on the something now. You're on the something. You are on the something. What if these teams they had like
3 people?
Or like less amount of people. It's different having
Smaller
like 11 motherfuckers on a field playing football.
Dude, because testosterone's not that dangerous. Like if you just take testosterone, which is like a steroid, it's just a natural steroid. It's not like Joe Rogan talks about taking testosterone.
Steroids are like they're I don't know the classifications of steroids, but I don't know if you taking like some underground to being steroids, right? Because you have HGH,
I think so.
Steroids.
It's just not as heavy as like they say like the fucking
now is it crazy, like steroids is a hormone it's a hormone introducer, right? I
think it boosts it.
Like I
haven't done it.
Hormone promoter. I really don't know what steroids do. I just know that they
makes you want to work out a lot. Like all you do is think about
unnecessary, like muscle, water weight, and all this.
I'm pretty sure it boosts your hormones.
It's just a chemical concoction of like like Chris Benoit.
Yeah, well, that's like the heavy. That's it. That's different shit. And you better.
I need to fucking kill something.
And that's like the fucking hardcore shit, though.
What?